Show them we can rise from ash. Jade, Lavender, and Scarlet Phoenix power. Together we will rise. They tried to burn us, we glowed like a flower. They didn't know we had a Phoenix's power. Phoenix power.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Jade Phoenix. We are back for another thrilling episode of the Phoenix Gate. I am so excited because, as always, I am joined by my cohorts. But because the snow fucking destroyed us again, fuck you, this is the worst winter we've ever had. We are all in our individual nests. So I'm coming from the Phoenix nest, and we have, of course, coming from down south in the New Jersey nest. We have Noose, a.k.a. Crimson. What's up, buddy?
How's it going, everyone?
Hi, how are you? You good? You're all right? You
I'm
good?
Yeah, I'm good.
In the Griffin's nest?
down there?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, obviously, we have our Lavender in her nest.
It
Hi.
all started when I was born.
Hello, everyone. I will say this has been the worst winter ever, and it makes me want to cry. And I've basically said that I better have the best spring and summer this year, or I am going to revolt against Mother Nature. I can't do this anymore.
It's so bad. Like, tell me how
It's so
we had
bad.
finally gotten rid of all the, well, not all of it, but 90%.
Most of it.
90% of the snow from that blizzard we had, what was it, not even like 2 weeks ago?
Yeah,
Like
because
three-
it's
it was
literally
around
when
like
I
3
first
weeks
got
ago,
sick.
yeah.
I would say
So it had to
beginning
be
of
2 or 3 weeks
February.
ago.
The beginning of
Yeah.
February, we had a blizzard.
Roughly, yeah.
We got about 1.5 to 2 feet in certain places. I know there was a lot over here by me and Lav because we live in the same neighborhoods. I know that Crimson also got hit pretty bad.
Yeah, no, it was pretty bad over here. Like it was to the point where the window, like I have one of those doors that has like obviously like one of those windows with blinds in it. And it was at least the snow. It was very weird because I don't know if it's because of the wind, but I had one section of the backyard just nothing on it at all. And then right up against that door was literally 3 feet of snow.
Well, I mean, it is also a possibility that like it just didn't pile there.
I think it was the wind kind of just blew it more up against certain areas. Like at least I know the walking space between the two houses here. That was at least another 3 feet worth of snow. That must have been some kind of wind tunnel.
Most
where
likely.
all the snow got piled in there. I had to shovel through all that.
Yeah.
It took me almost all day.
Yeah. And then what happens? 2 days ago, Sunday, we get another one. Another fucking 1.5 feet. I'm like,
It was despicable.
I can't.
Oh, I was talking about the one I was talking about was this one.
Oh,
That just hit.
no, I was talking about the first
not
one.
The previous. No, I'm talking about the second one. I thought we were talking about that one now.
No, we're talking about
Yeah,
both.
no,
We're talking about both.
For some reason, this one hit a little bit harder me where I'm at in like certain areas.
I would believe it because we got hit decent, but not anywhere near, I think, as bad as the first one, if you want my honest opinion.
Yeah. Overall, no. Definitely the first one was worse.
Yeah.
I think
Plus,
the main
luckily
reason.
we didn't get that. Luckily we didn't get that like cold temperature drop either.
No.
Yeah, like that's what I was
So.
going to say. Is that was the main reason, because I think what made the first blizzard so bad was that it iced, and then the entire neighborhood was iced over for like 3
Emotional damage.
Yeah.
until literally right before this blizzard. That was just like literally a day and a half left. Beginning of the week at this point, it feels like it was a day and a half ago. Whew.
It was the
But
beginning of this
At
week.
least
It was the beginning of this week.
it's not like frozen. Like at least it was like it's actually melting because I can actually see it from my fire escape. And my cat is absolutely like enthralled watching it melt through the fire escape.
Of course.
But I'm over it. I'm done. Like, I can't do it anymore.
Well, I mean, and then what sucks is that, like, we
give up.
got more snow last night.
I know. And it's supposed to snow again this week.
Yeah. And then we get that.
But I think towards.
No.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was saying, yeah, we do get a 2 days worth of snow, I think, starting Sunday, and then a week, almost 10 days worth of rain.
Look, I'd rather have rain. Personally.
Hey, we're
Like,
going into
I
March.
would rather take rain. Exactly. Like, and look, granted, I hate the winter. I've never loved it. Once it's past Christmas, I'm over it. My nervous system goes insane.
No.
I know.
But
She wasn't ready.
I don't mind the
She
rain,
wasn't
and at least the rain
ready.
means it's a little bit warmer.
Well, you know
Like,
what they
I'm really
say.
hoping
March
actually
showers.
spring now.
March showers. It's, March comes in like a lion, goes out like a lamb for April.
Yeah.
So you have the March showers, you have April showers that bring May flowers. And if we're entering a rainy season, I'll take rain over fucking snow.
Same.
What about
Yeah.
you, Crimson? You snow versus rain?
I prefer neither, but yeah.
Yeah.
I can choose rain.
Yeah. If you,
Think I'd rather go with
the
rain.
lesser of two evils, I believe, is rain.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because this winter is brutal. It has not been fun. So usually people are like, oh, you should be thankful that we're still getting snow and all this shit after the years of us not getting any snow. Yes, but it is also a sign that global warming is a fucking thing. And it makes me
Exactly.
hello, McFly. We're no. Like, ugh. And then last night, apparently, the Cheeto in charge had a State of the Union.
I haven't even watched anything anymore.
I refused. I refused to put it on. Digi Nan had it on for a little bit, but it was loud, and I could hear some of it, and I could feel the rage just bubbling because he was just, every word out of his fucking mouth was a fucking lie. And I'm like screaming. I was screaming downstairs, turn it off. I can't fucking listen to this fucking buffoon. And I got so fed up that I just turned on the TV up here and I blasted it. I cannot pretend anymore. I can't do that. I've tried. It didn't work.
I get it.
I can't. I just, ugh. But, congratulations to the U.S. women's hockey team for bringing home the gold. I mean,
fuck yes. Honestly, what a great year for women in the Olympics.
Oh my God, yes. We have one of our figure skaters brought home gold. I believe that several other of our women have brought home the gold. But the reason why I'm singling out the women's hockey team is because the men's hockey team, yeah, they also did win gold. And I believe they did it on like the 50th anniversary of the Miracle team or something. Or is it 40th?
Yes, I believe so.
Either the 50th or the 40th year of the Miracle team, the same fucking date they did it and whatever. But because they decided to be a stupid drunken frat party with Kash Patel, and there was a recording of how they were laughing and being stupid about the women's team with the Cheeto, fuck you. I'm sorry. Go fuck. I'm sorry.
I saw
No.
that, I was like, wow, okay. You just proved to everyone loud and clear why I don't care about men's sports.
No, it makes me really.
You'll never treat women like they're your equals.
Well, it's not even that.
Even though they expand you in every way.
It's not even that for me. It broke my heart because hockey is my sport. Some people are obsessed with football, some people are obsessed with baseball. I am a hockey person. I love hockey. That is my game. That is my sport. I always want to go to games. I love hockey. And for me, I was rooting for these teams because, hockey, and on top of that, America.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, I'm disgusted. I'm fucking disgusted at the way that the men's hockey team, did what they did in the locker room. Yeah, okay, give me the argument. It's locker room time. But you were on camera. How dare you fucking turn around and say that the women's aren't as good as you? If anything, they're better because they brought it home before you did. Asshole.
Quite a few times.
Quite a few times. But other than that, I haven't really been paying attention to the Winter Olympics. I'm not gonna lie. I really haven't. I've been kind of a little bit more focused on stuff here. Me and Crimson did a big show on Sunday during the blizzard, actually.
Yeah, it was crazy town.
Actually, it was kind of more just before it started, actually.
It started.
Not during more.
It started while we were there.
Yeah.
But it was already starting.
Like, towards the end.
It was already starting, though, because it was flurrying. And it was cold, and it was wet.
Yeah.
But we did the inaugural Toy Stop NYC. It's the first one that they've ever done. Because you know how the Feinics Gate likes to be on the ground up for everything.
Yeah.
But, you know, it was an amazing time. We got to hang out with some cool vendors. We got some great interviews that you guys need to be following us on our social media to see, because we put up not a recent interview, but an interview that we did back in November at the big event EXS with the American Gladiator J-Rod. And that you can find on our YouTube, our TikTok, and our Instagram. So if you're not following us on there, you're not going to be able to see these new interviews and a few others that are up and coming, because we're releasing another one tomorrow. So, just saying.
Get on it.
Like, seriously, follow us. We're pretty fun. We do fun shit. But other than that, Crimson got to show off more of his skills with his 3D printing and talk to people. Like, you were having some pretty long conversations there.
Yeah. I was chatting with certain people. Like, they were asking me a lot about, like, in terms of like what kind of stuff do I print, what's the processes and stuff. You know, because they saw how some of the statues that I made were done, and they were just curious as to how I got the certain textures onto it, and pretty much it kind of didn't really go too crazy into detail because there's not really much to really say. It was mostly just the material more than anything else. That kind of just worked for me because, you know, when it comes to these 3D printed materials, like, they have their own sort of qualities to them. Either they have sparkles or they'll have, you know, sort of like a stone-like texture to it. This looks like very interesting.
I mean, hey,
but yeah,
you're the master of that. Me and Lavender are just like, okay.
I just go, pretty thing.
Yeah.
Pretty trinket.
Pretty things.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, that's great. And, you know, the Talon Touch is your company, and we're promoting that, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, so you guys should also give that social media a follow. It is the Talon Touch on Instagram, and you can hit up our Crimson for any, you know, a custom, because you take commission, correct?
Yes, I do. I'm currently working on a few right now, but still open to taking in a few more that obviously would be a little bit on a wait list, but not anything like too egregiously long.
Which is great. Because we're all about creation here. And one of the things that we are going to be talking about tonight, it's the best movie I have ever seen in quite a long time. I was skeptical about this movie because, you know, I'm skeptical about everything. Let's call a spade here. But not only did I get to have a fantastic time with these two and two other friends of the Feinics Gate that are family, and we had fantastic dinner. We had, you know, coffee. It was a great fucking night. This movie blew my fucking mind in so many ways, and I am just so happy that we are going to be talking about tonight Iron Lung. I mean, I want to go see it again in theaters. I know that our Lavender got to see it twice in theaters.
Yes, I actually did get to see it twice. I saw it actually opening night when it first came out in the first round of theaters that Markiplier's team had dropped the film.
Nice.
So it was even more exciting getting to see it a second time because it just proved all the things I loved about it the first time. And it's definitely one of those films that I feel the more you watch it, the more you get out of it, especially if you're a big film fan. And even if you're not and you just enjoy media in general, just seeing the craft of it, how much care went into making the movie, and how many fun little nuances there are as the film rolls is so cool because the film is essentially a one-man show.
It is. So this movie only had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people starring in it. 7. And I'm pretty sure that you only maybe see on screen at any point in time 4 of them. So that's pretty impressive.
One thing I do want to add too, because obviously I actually got a chance to see when Markiplier actually did play the game that the movie was based off of.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, I think it came out back in 22 when he did the recording for it. Very interesting story. It's funny. It definitely played with the same sort of, not super slow, but gradual progression within the story. The game, obviously, it's a game. It's a little bit different than how it is with the movie because there's a lot. At least with a movie, you have, even if there's not a whole lot going on, there's still things that are going on within the area around the character within the movie compared to the game. Like doing a comparison, I guess, to the game. The game, it's a lot of it was more just like strictly going to the locations, kind of like how it was in the movie, but there wasn't a lot of, and when I say environment, I'm talking about more like environment within the I guess submarine or iron lung they want to call it because that's what the actual device is called. Is there's not a lot of scenery things going on within the space that the character's in. They do get some random notes, which was also, I'm pretty sure it's one of those like little sort of things that they added in there as well within the film. But what I did notice is that there was, I guess, other people might not think so in terms of film, but in terms of like from game to silver screen, there was a lot more going on, and obviously than there was in the game. And the ending, which I'm not going to say anything, it's still fairly in theaters, so let people actually watch it when they get a chance.
Yeah,
but,
we don't want to give them any spoilers because it's that good.
Of course.
Yeah, we want you to go in and really get to experience it the way that we all got to first experience it. And if you're like me and you're getting to see it a second time, experience it with the open eyes of, oh, you do know what's going to happen, but now you get to appreciate all of the really cool nods and just awesome practical effect work that Markiplier's team did.
It's true because we can talk about the original game, which is obviously of the same title, Iron Lung. And this is a game that was created by David Szymanski. I'm probably butchering that, but here we go. This came out on Windows March 10th in 2022. It was a Windows-powered game, and they created a port to play it on the Switch as of December 19th of the same year. So this started out as a computer game that was so good that they moved it to the Switch. And then PlayStation 5 and Android got it later in 2025. PlayStation 5 got it in October. Android got it in December. So you can play these things on all of those. You can play this game on all 4 of those systems. It's a submarine simulator horror game. It's a single-player game. Now, the gameplay itself is it's a first-person silent protagonist, and you are piloting a midget submarine. The gameplay isn't set entirely in one room, no real room to move around. And it's controlled using navigational equipment in the front, and the heading and position are displayed with a minimalist interface. So you're not getting like the whole, like a super powered submarine, ding, ding, ding kind of shit. You're not getting any of that. You're getting numbers and a direction, like an arrow pointing in a single direction, and that's it. You don't have any windows, because the one window that you can use, you can't open because you're in a sea of blood and the pressure and all sorts of stuff. And you have to you can't leave the submarine, and you have to use only the camera to navigate your ship. And events are going to occur throughout the game, including, obviously, oxygen issues, pressure issues. And there's also obviously tons of cheat codes that you can use, for this game, because it was a computer game. Oh, somebody's always going to figure out how to do it. The game itself actually got really good reviews when it first came out. But in 2023, Szymanski got some criticism because he increased the price of the game by $2. And that made everybody not want to buy it. Which is so stupid to me. I'm sorry.
I mean, then, like $2 is kind of like nothing in the world of video games.
But then, do you want to know what is hysterical to me? Do you want to know what surged the popularity of this game again? Do you guys have any idea what made this game become popular and on people's lips again?
I'm telling you, Markiplier's playthrough, it really got people interested again. I mean, it got me interested, and I didn't even know the game initially.
No, that's not what did it. I mean, it helped.
I remember watching it.
It helped, but that's not what made the game popular again in 2023. It was the implosion of the Titan submersible.
Oh.
I felt like that was
It's been that long. Wow.
I know.
Has it been that long?
Yeah.
I thought that was just the last year.
Yep.
God, I don't have any confident time.
There is no such thing. So, Iron Lung experienced a surge in popularity and sales, with some comparing aspects of the video game with real-world circumstances of the 5 victims on board of Titan, such as the inability to open the submersible from the inside. Szymanski expressed his discomfort at the increased sales in multiple tweets, first posting a weekly sales chart from Steam with the words, "This feels so wrong," and further remarking that the thought of Titan's occupants being trapped in a similar scenario was pretty horrific, even if it was their own bad decisions.
Yeah. Also, by the way, just want to throw that out there. When you did mention about the price increase,
yeah.
I understand that it's not really more that people are complaining about the price. It's more the principle behind that, by the way.
I'm sure.
Because it's a game that was released a while ago. There was nothing else that was edited or changed onto it, and they increased the price. What was, that's kind of. It's like it's not like you're not allowed to do it. It's kind of frowned upon. Where just like you kind of just released it in the initial price. If there was an update where they added more content to it and they increased the price, nobody would really say anything. But the fact that it was already released, that's kind of like a poor choice.
Yeah, like that makes sense because I mean, realistically, having played it myself, you could technically finish the gameplay in an hour.
Yeah, you could. It's not a long game.
It's not a long game. And I think that's also what makes the game so terrifying is the whole idea of the game is that you're essentially like trapped into your own execution.
Yeah.
And obviously like the movie gives far more storyline and really adds on to the world that David had initially created. But the whole idea of the game is the fact that you're inevitably dead at the end. No matter what you do, no matter how you play, you meet an inevitable end.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like crazy when you think about it. People are like, oh, but it's only an hour of gameplay. I'm like, yeah, but like that's what's spooky about it. There's nothing you can do to extend it because there's no way that you can avoid your own fate.
No, and it's such a like terrible, like not terrible, but it's such a freaking like metaphor for the human life. It's like no matter what you do, you're stuck in your human meat suit, piloting your human mech meat suit, and in the end, we all end up the same way no matter what. Sometimes it's just a little bit more horrific than others.
Exactly.
You
and
done
I think that's what's so interesting about then how it was adapted for the film, because we get so much more context as to what that meat suit has been through.
Emotional damage.
You really don't get much backstory for the protagonist that you're
not supposed
essentially
to.
inheriting.
You're not supposed to.
Because you're really supposed to see yourself through the eyes of this protagonist you're inheriting. So they kind of like, he leaves him a bit as an empty shell besides, hey, you did something wrong. You are now here essentially to die. And now you're just going to see your own fate, or a fate that the people that sent you there don't even fully understand that you're going to experience, play before your very eyes with no way out.
Oh, but they do know. They do.
Oh, yeah.
They just don't tell.
They give them a little bit more ambiguity in the movie. But yeah, they know that there's something down there.
Yes.
And that's exactly why you're going.
What I love about this movie is that it gave us the context that those of us who have played the game may or may not have gotten from the gameplay itself. And I loved that while it gave us a little bit more, I guess I want to call it rounding out of the edges of this game, it didn't expand on it in such a way that now we have a whole fucking thing where we're going to get all these spin-offs and we're going to get the, it's just, no. Because it still gives you that whole finality of the game itself. And it's not open to interpretation. There is no, oh, maybe it didn't happen. No, it fucking happened. It happened. This is how it happened. You can't question it. And I loved that.
Yeah.
I would agree. I think that's what I love so much about Mark being the person to adapt Iron Lung is, and y'all have heard it on this podcast before, I am not against people taking creative liberties with source material.
No.
I feel like when you do it right, it's awesome. Great example, not video game related, but Silver Linings Playbook. I think the movie was actually better than the book because of the creative liberties they took, because it was in the honor of the character in the story.
No touching.
And I think that's exactly what Mark did, was he was able to take the source material, expand it in such a way that honored the original source material, didn't take anything away from it, didn't try to morph it into some beast of its own. I'm calling you out, the Hobbit movies, and take away like the core of the story. And I think that's what was so great about it. Like, as a fan himself, Mark was able to take that material and do justice to it in a world where big Hollywood would have been, actually, we need 6 of these movies.
Can we also talk about the fact that it's literally, this movie was written by Markiplier, directed by Markiplier, edited by Markiplier. It was produced by Markiplier's studios. And literally the team of this movie is so small. It was only produced by two people, Will Hyde and Jeff Guerrero. It only stars Markiplier, Carolyn Rose Kaplan, Troy Baker, Elsie Lovelock, Elle Lamont, Sean McLaughlin, and Isaac McKee. The cinematography, Philip Roy, and music by Andrew Hischelt, or Hulschult, I should say. I'm butchering people's names. But that's it. This film only had a budget of $3 million. That is it. That is nothing in the bucket of Hollywood. Nothing. It is a teardrop.
It was never supposed to be released in this way. It was solely because Mark's fans said, we want to see it in a theater. And then Mark went ahead and petitioned for it to go to the theaters. Like when it opened that initial weekend, I went to go see it. It was only going to open in a few hundred theaters. Now it's more than doubled its return for how much they spent making the movie. Of which Mark made a point to highlight that first week of those sales that they made, of that original nearly 20 million, he gave out as bonuses to his crew.
As of today, as we are recording this movie has made over $50 million.
And rightfully so.
As is well deserved.
Yep.
Well fucking deserved. Now, the three of us went to all go see it together, obviously. And now, I am well known for having claustrophobia. I do not do well in enclosed spaces. I have a history there. There's trauma. Being buried underneath two buildings will kind of make you a little afraid of fucking tight spaces.
Yeah.
So going to see this movie, I was very much like, because the way Lavender described it was you do get that very claustrophobic feeling. And there were a few parts in the movie where I'm just sitting there going, nope. Absolutely the fuck not. No. No. No, thank you.
You're a monster.
I don't want it. But it was...
And I think that's what made it spookier, you know?
I mean, personally, it wasn't one of those films that made me jump, which I don't mind. Don't get me wrong. I love a good jump scare. But it was one of those movies that was definitely fucking with my psyche. Where I'm just sitting there going, and I'm like the whole time I'm sitting there, I'm going, okay, what's going to happen next though? I need to see it. I need to know. And it left me with questions, which I think is fucking so good. Because if you're doing psychological horror, nailed it.
Oh, 100%. And personally, I would view Iron Lung more as eldritch horror, just because of the cosmic nature
Agreed.
of the film and the world surrounding the film. Like it was giving me very like Lovecraftian ideals into how they were building the world around the movie. And I just think he did such a great job. And I feel like there's so few eldritch horror, whether it be films, books, television, that really capture that feeling of muchness without overdoing it. Like it's this cosmic horror of there are forces you cannot control, nor can you stop them. And they did it in such a way that one man, you could see it go through one man's entire experience versus like what you're used to in this non-creator based media economy where everything is like, oh, Michael Bay is just going to blow up a big giant snake monster. Like it was like, no, this actually feels so terrifying and so authentic and unique because an independent creator put it out there.
I don't disagree.
Yeah.
Crimson, your perspective, like what was going through your head while watching this movie?
For me, it was mostly just kind of like, obviously, because the game itself doesn't have a lot of like lore and backstory to it. But for me, what I was kind of looking for was, first off, getting the correct scenery, the correct like detail. It's more of environmental storytelling because that's more of like what that game is about.
Yeah.
It's more environmental storytelling. It's a type of storytelling that not a lot of people really tend to adapt in their movies or films, TV shows. You know, obviously, matter of fact, you don't even see that in TV shows, but you don't really tend to see that even a whole lot within just video games. Like, there's not an abundance. There are a good amount, but not as large of a library as games that have like that actually have like dialogue, even at least some kind of form of dialogue and storytelling. For me, it was just more the details of the capsule of the submarine that the character's in.
Yeah.
Like how big the space is, the details of the equipment. Now, obviously, for people who haven't played the game or are wondering, and now, like after watching the film, they want to go see how the game is. Obviously, don't expect it to be like hyper realistic graphics. It is a indie game.
Yes.
So it is a very simplified, detailed game. You could tell it's indie. You could tell it didn't have a lot of people working on it. But that's the point of indie. You don't have like large studio groups working on a project. So
Yeah.
but it's kind of what's really nice about indie games. But yeah, like the equipment is definitely one of the biggest things that I was looking at. I was trying to see, does he have all the dials that he should be having? Does he have more? Does he have less? Are they going to get that switch that's in the back, for taking the photos and stuff? Now, what I kind of liked is the fact that, if I remember correctly, they didn't really specify what type of camera that was.
Yeah.
They did.
In the game.
In the game.
Oh, in the game. In the movie, they did.
I'm talking, yeah, because we're talking, yeah, exactly. I'm talking about the game itself. I don't believe, unless it was in one of those like small notes, but I highly doubt it. I would have to double check. But in terms of the game itself, I don't believe there was really any descriptions as to what kind of camera it was, or the fact that it had some sort of radiation to it. So I felt like that was a nice little detail that they added on along with the rest, because again, we are talking about highly dense organic material you're swimming through, which is blood and flesh from where? Who knows? But it actually makes logical sense. And I'm pretty sure from a medical perspective, and I'm pretty sure, Jade, you could kind of, correct me if I'm wrong on that.
I could.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I mean,
So
they did well.
Yeah.
They did really well, I think, when it came to converting the game aesthetic and play style to a movie. If that's what you meant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with
I
you.
guess the difference between you.
No,
Yeah.
I definitely agree with you.
Yeah.
I think what's
And
really
again,
cool,
mm-hmm.
speaking on that, is a lot of the actual design and mechanics from the game are in the movie, which I think is so fun. So the map that he's using is actually the exact same screen print of the map used in the game.
Yes.
Yep.
As well as the journals.
And the journals, exactly, and the way that they actually set up the manuals, where they're almost like these concise, like video game manuals. Even just going as far as into it as like how he delivers certain lines of dialogue.
Yeah.
Is very fun, because it feels like beyond just, we're watching like a film adaptation of a video game. It's, I'm watching a video game being made into a film. And I think there's a very distinct difference.
Yeah. I mean, and let's talk about this cast. So we obviously have Markiplier, who's playing the convict, which they finally give a name to, and they call him Simon. But they have Isaac McKee, who plays, young Simon in his flashbacks. Then you have Carolyn Rose Kaplan, who plays Ava. You have Troy Baker, who plays David. You have Elsie Lovelock as the voice of the speaker, and also appearing as the research lead of the SM8. You have Elle Lamont, who is the voice of the Whisper. Lamont also appears as a research assistant on the SM8. Mick Lauer is the voice of the previous occupant of the SM13. David Pettit as the father. Sean McLaughlin, who's also known as Jacksepticeye, is Jack. And Alana Pierce is the familiar voice, but we also get cameos from Szymanski himself and Raul Coley, Ethan Nestor, Valkyrie, and Mika Midget all provide additional voices for this movie. And seriously, usually you would have like on a typical Hollywood movie, that list would be like way bigger. You know, these are all people that I honestly, personally have never even heard of in the acting field. I mean, have any of you?
I mean, Raul Coley, actually, in terms of people in the movie, he is actually decently well known. You actually met him at New York Comic Con.
Did I? Oh my God! Yes, I did. My brain just went.
Explosions!
Yep, you're right. I did. I love him. Never mind.
Yeah, because he's in the Haunting of series. He's in all of Mike Flanagan's stuff on Netflix.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
He's the only one that I would say is any traditional, besides maybe Troy Baker, but he's more of a like video game voice acting kind of famous, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Raul Coley would be the only one I would say is like close to maybe like a movie star type success. But
he only provided
Markiplier,
additional voices. He didn't even appear on screen.
Exactly. He only did. He didn't appear on screen. So like, and it doesn't surprise me that he would want to be in on this type of project.
Well, he's a gamer.
He's very he's not only is he a gamer, but he's super outspoken about making sure that artists get their chance in Hollywood overall.
Yeah.
Especially in the age of everything's about social media, everything's about TikTok. He's a very big supporter of just curating and supporting all types of art. So it's actually, I didn't even originally know that he provided additional voices. So it makes me really happy that he like stands behind what he preaches. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's great to see him on that list. And also just Markiplier, who even before this has been like, even though he obviously does all his playthroughs, like I'm personally a big fan of Markiplier. And I love seeing him transition into his own original work, like his original content and story ideas, his own short series. Unus Annus was a huge thing that he did. And just getting to see him really show his chops and get to flourish in such a way that like any Joe Schmo on the street may not know who Markiplier is. But I feel like this just proves that independent artists deserve to be represented in a big Hollywood way.
Well, Markiplier came out in 2023, I believe, and he officially announced that he was making this game, that he was making this movie.
Yes.
And this was intended to be his theatrical film, even though he has previously, did a couple of original films for YouTube, which were A Heist with Markiplier in 2019, and then In Space with Markiplier in 2022.
Yeah.
He did those. But also, this was one of those things where he worked Szymanski was on board for this even before Markiplier announced that he was doing it. Like, they worked in tandem to make sure that this film would be true to the original source material, which I find to be the best because there are so many things, like, I'll use an example, The Witcher series. The Witcher series was great because you had an actor there who was like, if you do not stay to the source material, I am not fucking doing it. And that was Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill is such a fucking gamer where he was like, I'm not doing it. And that's why after, I believe it was season 2 that he exited and refused to do season 3 because they weren't staying true to the source material anymore. And that's why they got the other dude, Thor's brother, to do it.
Oh, Liam Hemsworth.
Yeah, they got Liam Hemsworth to take over as The Witcher because Cavill turned around and said, no, you're not staying true to the games. You are not staying true to the story. I'm not fucking doing it. And Hollywood turned around and said, okay, bye. So props to people that stick to their fucking convictions, like Markiplier, like Cavill, who are like, no. You're not going to bastardize something that is so beloved by so many fucking people and make it just Hollywood and easily shovable down people's throats. There is a point to some of these games that they're not supposed to be liked by everyone. They are not supposed to be stomached by everyone. That is the whole fucking point. And I love the fact that Markiplier was like, nah, I'm going to do this the way that it needs to be done. He fucking basically financed it, most of it out of his own pocket. And he beat a record when he did it. He beat a fucking record when he did it. He says that he had announced that Iron Lung is going to contain the most fake blood of any horror film, beating Evil Dead from 2013's 50,000 US gallons used during filming. And he had to go to the hospital after getting too much fake blood in his eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you've seen the film, you can see why.
He revealed in a live stream on December 7th from 2025 that the final approximate amount of blood was 80,000 gallons. Holy fucking shit.
It's called commitment, ladies and gentlemen.
Dude, that's beyond, like, dude, how you have to go to the hospital to have the fake blood taken out of your eyes? That's not just commitment, that is insanity, and I'm here for it.
No, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Look, Markiplier has never been a creator that's ever done halfway anything. I mean, his whole project in his anus was solely about making 365 days of all original content that was only viewable for 24 hours because it was supposed to be about experiences and not just putting out content.
Yeah.
And no normal human being, and I say this with all love to Markiplier, no normal human being would be able to commit to that bit the way that Markiplier commits to bits above and beyond every single time.
Wow. I mean, Markiplier even turned down a role in Five Nights at Freddy's to be able to do Iron Lung.
Yeah.
Because of the schedule conflict.
Yeah, because he wanted to make sure that he could commit everything to this adaptation. And I love that every bit of it is not only paying off for him, but for his entire crew. Like, some top names in horror have been citing just how much they believe that the way that this was done is how it should be done. Like, Bruce Campbell went out of his way recently to actually shout out Markiplier and say, like, this needs to be the future of media, and especially for the film forum.
I agree. What do you think, Crimson? Do, 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 do. Are you there? Crimson.
Hello?
Oh
Yes?
my God.
Okay.
Did you
No.
fall asleep?
I'm like, okay. No, I'm over here talking. I'm like, okay. I guess there was a slight, drop in connection there for a moment. All right. But no, like I was saying before, yeah. When it comes to the whole thing with Mark, I know I've been watching Mark since like I was probably in like early high school, freshman year. I remember watching his videos. But so I've always known him to be that type of character. Yeah, he's been around for a very long time.
I didn't watch YouTubers like that. I never watched YouTubers like that. I did. It was past my time.
Yeah, I did. But yeah, that's honestly, I've always seen Mark, and it kind of makes me. It's almost like, wow, man, I've known you for years, and you're doing good. Like I love the success that he's going through, especially with this whole film, because like him, I strive to do things creatively a lot. So, and I don't really like doing things that other people tend to do either. Too, I kind of like standing out of the box a little bit, or kind of just making things that people haven't seen. And his mindset, I essentially have been embodying that type of same mindset for a while, just in different fields.
Take that, depression!
But
I do not disagree. Now, overall, the response for this movie has been positive. I mean, it's 61% out of 38 critics gave it a positive review. That's a lot for an independent film.
It is.
Yeah.
And especially for a film that could be just beyond the fact that it's an independent horror film, it's also an indie eldritch horror film.
Yes,
and
you mentioned
that is a really hard genre for a lot of people, including critics, to really like wrap their heads around and enjoy at a commercial success.
Yeah.
So the fact that it even ranks that well on Rotten Tomatoes considerably impresses me all the way and speaks to Mark's filmmaking.
I don't disagree, considering the fact that in the box office, as of February 22nd, Iron Lung has grossed $40 million in the United States and Canada, and $10 million in other territories for a worldwide total of $50 million. And in the United States and Canada, Iron Lung was released alongside a movie that we will not name because we ain't giving it any press, and Shelter. It opened with $3.5 million on Thursday. So it already made back what it spent with a little bit of 0.5 interest. And it was initially projected to make 9 to 10 domestically on the opening weekend. But after an 8.9 million opening day, including the Thursday previews, projections were increased to 14 to 17 million. And it opened with an estimated 17.8 million from 3,015 theaters as per Variety and Deadline. And though it opened to a slightly higher 18.2 million when the official figures actually came out. In the first weekend!
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. And I mean, now they're even saying it's grossing over 43 to 50 million worldwide as of today.
Yes. And that's, I'm sorry, for a film that only had a budget of 3 million, for it to be focused on such a single space actor with very minimal outside interference and stuff like that, bruh, chef's fucking kiss. That movie, I mean, personally, I'm gonna give that movie a 9.5 out of 10. That's my opinion. It was that good. Because there are very few movies that I'll go to the theaters and actually like be like, I'm very glad that I got to see this in theaters, or why didn't I wait for this to come out on streaming or whatever. This is one of those movies that you have to experience it in theaters. You just have to. It's that good.
100%.
It's that good. One of the friends that we went to see the movie has the attention span of a sparrow, and even he said, no, this is definitely the kind of movie that I'm very glad that I saw in theaters, because if I tried to watch this at home, I would get distracted. And then he wouldn't be able to give the movie its appropriate attention, and it deserves that attention. And that coming from him is very high, because he is like the worst when it comes to shit. So if he's sitting there and saying he fucking really liked that movie, then it's a good movie, because he hates everything. It's true. It's true. Burn all the babies. Now, I want to know, both of you, your rating before we start wrapping it up. So we'll start with you, Crimson. What is your rating for this movie out of 10?
I mean, I honestly, just based off of how good it was, how true it was to I would arguably say, minimal source material. You know, in terms of story, environment's different, but story, settings and all that, honestly, I give it around the same rating you gave it, like a 9.5. Yeah.
High rating.
That's pretty much my reasoning for it.
High rating from Crimson. And Crimson's also another hard to please person when it comes to film, so impressive.
Yeah.
What about you, Lav? You saw it twice, so what's your rating?
Yeah, I would have to say 9.5 to 10. Like, I really love this movie. Granted, I was very, very excited for this movie. Like, I was planning to see it back when he announced it was even going to be released in that first handful of theaters around the world. And I was like, I have to see it. I don't care where I have to go. It ended up being great that it was right in my backyard and way easier. But I would give it a 9.5 to a 10. I loved everything about it. It was everything that I love about horror. It was everything I love about creators. And I just really love Mark. And I don't just say that because I'm like a fan of his work. He's just a really good person. And it makes me feel good to see good people succeed.
Agreed.
And seeing him succeed as someone that's gone out of his way to not only do like verse like a Mr. Beast, for example, who's like a crazy sociopath narcissist.
I hate him.
I love seeing someone like Mark, who has a kind, true heart, like really succeed at this. And I just loved everything about the movie. Can't wait for the DVD release because Mark confirmed as of February 19th that a DVD Blu-ray release is going to be in development.
Oh, I definitely am getting that.
Everyone knows.
I'm definitely getting that.
I will be the first person to have that freaking whatever the special edition version of it is, it's going to be in my possession.
I agree because it's funny that we were all literally talking about that as we left the theater.
Yeah, that I needed it.
That we need
in
that.
my physical library.
I agreed. I don't buy Blu-rays or DVDs anymore, but this is one that I will make an exception for. What about you?
Like,
what about you,
big
Crimson?
physical media store, so I tell you.
What about you, Crimson? Would you buy that DVD or?
If I were to buy it, it'd be to have him sign it. That's it.
Valid.
Because I'm not really much one for having DVDs. Even though if we're talking about like just having discs,
yeah,
I'd probably prefer to have my games as physical. But DVDs, I do not have a collection of DVDs at all either. So, but honestly, just to have an opportunity, if I ever get one, to have them sign it, I'd have at least something. So
yeah,
definitely for sure.
For sure. So it is a very rare occasion when you have all three members of the Feinics Gate agreeing on an overall rating of 9.5 out of 10 for a movie. Because we all have so many different requirements on what we personally like to see in a movie. So for anybody that hasn't been listening to us for a long time, for the three of us to agree across the board that has never happened actually at all in the history of the three of the color wheel, no, it doesn't happen. So this is
that's true.
This is a first. And Markiplier, congratulations on everything. And I cannot wait to see where you go in the future and what you do in the future, because honestly, like I said, I didn't watch Markiplier doing his streams and stuff. I've heard good things. I believe that he's funny. I just never really I don't watch people stream games because then it makes me want to play the actual game itself, and I'd rather do that. Does that make sense?
That totally makes sense.
So, I never hated on him because I myself have wanted to do the Twitch stuff and stream things for the gate. But, I'd rather be playing the game than watching someone play the game. So for Markiplier to go from someone that was just doing silly shit on YouTube and Twitch years ago to being who he is now and giving us this gem of a movie, thank you.
We love you, Mark.
And on that note,
we're
going to get out of here. So check us out. We are going to be bringing so many bigger and better things to you guys. If you're not following us on social media, as I mentioned earlier, you really should be, because there's so many wild things that will only be on certain bits of our social media. So if you're not following us by now, I don't know what to tell you, but get on that, fix that. And if you are hearing this on any of the major listening platforms that we are on, because we are on every single one, give us a like and a follow. Help us come to you more often so that you know what is up with the gate. And till next time, See you later, Phoenix Nation. Bye. Say bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Boy,